Feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that the Yakuza game series is the only series where you can go from crying over betrayal to managing a real estate empire to singing your heart out in a karaoke bar, all in the span of a mission or two. And somehow, it all works, and it's freaking brilliant. If you've never played Yakuza before, or if it's been years since you last stepped foot in Kamurocho, there's never been a better time to absolutely lose control. This December, Yakuza 0 Director's Cut and Yakuza Kiwami 1 and 2 hit PlayStation and Xbox, with the Switch 2 already having Yakuza 0 Director's Cut and getting Kiwami 1 and 2 in just a few short days on November 13th. And so that means the perfect storm is brewing. Because I feel like these games are the best starting point for new fans and the perfect nostalgia trip for old ones, all just in time for Yakuza Kiwami 3 next February. Now generally I do prefer more chill games with easier to digest stories and plot elements, which is why I was so pleasantly surprised that I fell in love with the series after giving Yakuza 0 a try. Yakuza is straight up chaotic, man, but I'm here for it. And I've never wanted to hit the disco floor in a full suit and eye patch more than after playing this game. So today, let's talk about why the Yakuza series is absurd, brilliant, emotional, and one of the most unexpectedly human game franchises ever made, and why now is the best time to dive headfirst into the chaos, or as I like to call it, a typical Tuesday in Kamurocho. The first Yakuza game launched back in 2005, and I've heard it draw comparisons to if GTA was set in Asia. And while there certainly are some similarities between the games, simply chalking it up to just that one statement would be doing both the game and yourself a massive disservice. It's so much more than that. Both games have a lot of chaos that would never happen in real life, well, shouldn't happen, but GTA's chaos feels more predictable and scripted, whereas Yakuza's chaos is quite unpredictable if you've never played it. And it feels like when they were making the series, they just closed their eyes and threw darts to see what would happen next, yet everything was still entertaining. But Yakuza 0 changed everything. Or so I'm told. I've only played Yakuza 0 so far, but from what I've seen from other fans, it wasn't just any prequel, it was the entry point that redefined the series. You play as both Kazuma Kiryu, a Yakuza who unexpectedly lands in some hot water, and Goro Majima, a former Yakuza trying to make it back in, managing a cabaret club and tasked with a tough mission if he wants to rejoin his Yakuza family. You're exploring Japan in the 80s, a time of cash, chaos, and crime. It's an origin story that explains everything, but also is just a standalone masterpiece. Yakuza might be the most addicting contradiction in gaming history. One second, you're in a brutal brawl so cinematic it could win an Oscar. The next, you're buying property, running a cabaret, helping shoot a movie, dancing with Miracle Johnson, racing pocket cars with children, and acting as a fake boyfriend to a girl's father, only for him to start crushing on you. Yep, that's Yakuza. The magic is how all of these things fit into the game. It's absurd, but it never feels out of place. Well, sometimes, but not too bad. Because under all the chaos, these games have heart. They treat every side quest, every oddball character, like they actually matter and had time spent, on their character going in. In fact, I'd go as far as to say that most Yakuza's side quests and minigames are more fun and have more love put into them than the majority of games that release these days. If you gave me the choice of only playing Yakuza's minigames or every live service game on the market for the rest of my life, I'd probably become the world's greatest cabaret owner / bowler that you've ever seen. What I love about Yakuza isn't just that it's fun, but it feels lively, I guess. These games understand people. Every character, from the toughest gangster to the guy selling tissues on the corner, has a story worth hearing. Well, maybe not the people selling tissues, but there's something oddly comforting about walking through Kamurocho at night, hearing the chatter, the city hum, the soft jazz, and knowing that at any moment you could be beat down for all your cash. It feels like you're there without having to empty your wallet for plane tickets. And that's why people fall in love with the series. It's not about fighting thugs, even though that's a lot of it. It's also about finding an escape and entertainment in the most unexpected places. But don't get it twisted, like I said, this series is very insane. You can quite literally run a business empire by recruiting a chicken named Nugget as your manager. And it's all treated with total sincerity. The Yakuza games don't wink at the camera, they believe in their own madness, and that's what makes it genius. Because just when you think you've seen it all, well, You definitely have not seen it all, my good friends. And this winter, Yakuza's golden era is back. The Yakuza 0 Director's Cut looks and runs beautifully on Switch 2, and Kiwami 1 and 2 are following right behind, with all versions coming to PlayStation and Xbox in December. It's a perfect setup for Yakuza Kiwami 3 dropping this February, and trust me, you're going to want that context before you dive in real deep. I've never played the others, like previously mentioned, but boy am I drooling over the opportunity to. Sometimes I'm a little too nervous to try a new series because I feel like I missed out on their heyday, and that it's a lost or forgotten franchise. For example, I got into Halo after Bungie left, I got into Metal Gear Solid recently after Kojima left, and I knew Yakuza had been around for a while, but I just never felt the timing was right. That's why when Yakuza came to Switch 2, it meant so much. And honestly, if the game library wasn't so small at launch like I had complained about, I probably wouldn't have had the time for it. So I guess that's one way to make a positive out of a negative. If you've never played the series, start now. Like right now. Like right after this video. And if you have, revisit them. Because revisiting Yakuza isn't like replaying a game. It's like revisiting a city full of friends, enemies, and disco legends who just don't know when to quit. So if you're ready to punch crime, cry over friendship, and maybe sing "Breaking the Law, Breaking the World" a little too loud in the process, there's never been a better time to dive into Yakuza 0 and the Kiwami series. And while you're at it, go ahead and join the NogTV Discord. We've got a pretty cool little community of gamers there who keep me having fun with these videos, and the link is in the description. I'm Noggy, one of the YouTubers of all time. It's been real. Now, go listen to what I said about Luigi's Mansion. I love you, you love me,